Welcome back. All right, so it worked out pretty well for me today in that I've been able to wear a yellow/marigold jersey for every review video. I didn't get anything else done today because 12 hours watching hockey, so do the review and then everybody on the internet can tell me how stupid I am for my power rankings. All right, that being said, we're going to start things with Toronto and Montreal. Oh, we lose an hour tonight. Don't forget to jump your clocks forward. If you still have a clock that works manually, does anybody have a clock? I guess the ones on the stove microwave. All right. Samsonov versus Montembeault in this matchup between Toronto and Montreal. Matheson scores 38 seconds in for Montreal. He buries one in close. Caulfield and Slavkovsky with the assists. So the Leafs look to respond. There's a delay due to a glass break. The shots are 3-1 Montreal at 3.5 minutes. Domi has a screenshot that's held. The Habs were back checking pretty well at this point. Harris then has a rush chance that saved. The Habs press at 9.5 minutes. They're kept to the outside. More pressure by Montreal with 8 minutes left. The Leafs then get some pressure with 5.5 minutes left. They cannot get to the net. Nylander to Bertuzzi gets picked off. Montreal solid first period and they're up 1-0. But second period, 39 seconds in. On a turnover rush, McMahon scores from Kampf. So that ties the game at 1. Habs press at 3 minutes. Pearson fires one wide on a rush. The Leafs press. The Habs back checking. The Habs make you work for it. Xhekaj has a chance that's held. Shots are 5-2 Montreal at 8 minutes. We get a power play for Toronto. That becomes 4-on-4. During the 4-on-4, the teams trade rushes. Everything gets killed off there. Power play for Montreal. That gets killed off. Nylander has a rush chance. That deflects out. Gallagher has a net feed picked off. And Domi splits the defense and buries it. Yarncroke with the assist at 18:41 gives Toronto their first lead of the game. Roy nearly answers. His chance is held. Things get punchy at the horn. So, with the Leafs ahead 2-1, they have a full power play to start the third period. And what does it do? Well, it doesn't even get a shot. Montreal kills that off. Matheson's denied from the slot. We get a power play for the Habs, and they score on it. Newhook roofs one from the right circle. Slavkovsky and Matheson with the assists on that at 5:05. So Slavkovsky with a couple of helpers. Matheson with a goal and an assist tonight, and it's tied at 2. Good forechecking by the Habs. Shots are 5-2 in their favor at 7 minutes, but at 13:14, Tavares buries one in close. McCabe and Domi with the assists. So Domi with a goal and a helper tonight. Toronto's ahead 3-2. With 2:59 left, Montreal gets a power play. They call a timeout with 2:08 left. They pulled the goalie after winning that face-off. Leafs kill it off to make it 6-on-5. Slavkovsky hits the post. We were that close to overtime, and the Leafs do hold on. So your final score is 3-2. Toronto wins this one to go to 37-19-8 on the season. Montreal 24-30-10 on the year. Shots on net, 9 apiece in the first, 13-10 Montreal in the second, 9-8 Montreal in the third. Final shots 31-27 Montreal. Power plays Toronto 0-2, Montreal 1-4. The hits 43-20 for Montreal. Samsonov saved 29 out of 31. He was very good. Montembeault 24 saves on 28 shots, or 24 saves on 27 shots at the other end. So yeah, entertaining game. All right, Ottawa and San Jose. So there you go. I wore San Jose for the preview. So it's Korpisalo versus Krona. Shots were only 1 apiece, 3.5 minutes in. They're suppressed by San Jose 4.5 minutes in. Sturm's denied and close. We get a power play for the Sharks. And Bordelot ends up scoring on it at 6:24 from Zetterlund and Granlund. That one goes over the shoulder of Korpisalo. Sharks press for another. Chychrun gets hurt during that play. Sens get a power play. Sanderson has a chance that's held. That's killed off. Sharks press with 9.5 minutes left. There's a near miss for Zetterlund. They get more pressure. Thrun has a shot that deflects out. It's 1-0 San Jose after 1. Second period, Sens press at 1.5. Stützle has a turnover chance. That's saved. The Sens had the only shot on net at 4 minutes, so that'd be the one. Batherson has a one-timer. That's held. A tipped shot by Gregg is saved, and then the Sens draw a power play, and they score on it. It's Stützle from Sanderson and Tkachuk at 9:18. He buries that one from the left circle. That's his first in a while, ties the game at 1. Sens press for the lead, but there's a power play for San Jose, and they score on it. The power plays were the key tonight. It's Bordelot again. It's his first multi-goal game in his career. Granlund and Eklund with the assists at 14:37 makes it 2-1 San Jose. Sens look to respond. Granlund to Zetterlund near miss. 3:02 left. The Sharks get a power play. That becomes a 5-on-3. The 5-on-4 rolls over into the third period where the Sens do finish the kill. Tkachuk's rattled in a collision. We get a power play for the Sens. Pinto has a shot that deflects out. Brandstrom has one that's held. That power play is killed off. Ferraro then has a blast that's saved and held. The shots are 8-2 for Ottawa with 8.5 minutes left. Sens press with 9 minutes left. Or at 8.5 minutes, the shots are 8-2 for the Sens. Then the Senators press with 9 minutes left. The goalie pull happens with 1 minute and 10 seconds left, and despite chances, the San Jose Sharks hold on. It's such a baffling thing for me to say that I can't say it. But yeah, San Jose holds the lead. They go to 16-40-7 with the win. With the loss, Ottawa 25-33-4 on the season. So shots on net, 10-9 for San Jose in the first, 10-7 Ottawa in the second, 13-4 Ottawa in the third. They do outshoot San Jose 32-21. Power plays, Ottawa 1 for 3, San Jose 2 for 4. Both teams had 10 hits in this game. Korpisalo saved 19 out of 21, and Krona, another good night for him, 31 saves on 32 shots. He alternates between nights with bad stats and nights with really good stats. He had the good night against Dallas the night he beat them, and now he has another good one against the Ottawa Senators here. So, yeah, good on Krona. All right, next up, Philadelphia and Tampa. So it's Harrison versus Vasilevsky, and this was a disaster right out of the gate for Philadelphia. Both teams are blocking early, but on the first shot on net, Hedman scores. Kucherov and Radish with the assists at 1:49. Tampa Bay nearly scores after that. They do draw a power play, and they score on it. Paul buries a rebound. Duclair and Radish with the assists at 5:55. We then had a fight between Delorier and Watson. I think Delorier was trying to fire up his teammates. Doesn't work. Shots are 9-2 for Tampa Bay at 8.5 minutes. And at 9:10 on a turnover, Sherry scores from Asimont and Radish. Tampa Bay goes back to the power play, which did not make John Tortorella happy. And point scores from Stamkos and Hedman at 10:49. So that leads to Tampa Bay getting another power play as unsportsmanlike conduct is called for comments from the Philadelphia bench. Tortorella's thrown out. Tortorella then refuses to leave. He's told to leave a few times before he actually leaves. I don't know what kind of fine he's going to be looking at. I would think he has to be fined after they fined Granato and Keefe for what was, I think, a lot less than just, yeah, I'm not going, whatever. And I can't repeat the other things he said. I'd like this video to stay monetized. So it's a meme. It's a moment. And I do love John Tortorella, and I get it. Here's my theory. They're down 4-0. Tortorella's losing his mind. A, I think that, yes, he was mad about the penalty calls. B, all anybody's going to talk about now is John Tortorella's freak out behind the bench, not the fact that Philadelphia was behind 4-0 in the first period. So it was a good play, I thought, by Tortorella, whether he meant to do that or not. That's all I've heard about is how Tortorella lost his mind behind the bench. Heard it on multiple broadcasts tonight. So the Flyers kill that one. They then get a turn, but their power play sucks. It's the worst in the league now. So, yeah, Chicago had that night where they got 4 power play goals, and now their power play's got a higher rating. Things get pushy on a Sandstrom hold late as Sandstrom took over from Ersson after it was 4-0. And it's 4-0 after 1. Second period, Radish has a shot that's held as Tampa presses. The shots are 2 apiece at 4 minutes. The Flyers press at 4.5 minutes. They're kept to the outside. Bolts had a 3-on-1. That misfires. Hathaway has a net feed that's tipped aside. The shots are 6-3 Philly at 8 minutes. Philadelphia had a good second period. It's just the first sank them. Cirelli has a rush chance. That's defended. We have a fight between Couturier and Dumba. Sanheim gets shaken up. He's slow skating off. For the Flyers, it's important not to lose guys to injury in a game like this. Bolts press with 9 minutes left. Eventually, Anthony Duclair scores. He gets a goal from Stamkos at 15:42 to go with his assist earlier. I think Duclair's liking it in Tampa. There's a post for Dumba the next shift. Chernak gets hurt, and he needs help when he's skating off. So, again, you don't want Chernak getting hurt. You get a big win, but if you lose Chernak, that hurts. So, third period, Tippett gets dinged on a shot block. He would come back into the game. We get a power play for Philly. Does it suck? Well, there's a shorthanded Hagel to Cirelli near miss. Power play's killed off, and then Tampa Bay presses. And at 7:33, Hedman scores. That's his second of the game. Point and Kucherov with the assists. Tampa goes to the power play, and they score on it. So with Philadelphia, we know their power play isn't any good, but their penalty kill has generally been excellent tonight. Their penalty kill was not excellent tonight. Hagel scores from Radish and Asimont at 8:16. Then the Flyers get a power play. Does it suck? Well, yeah, because they lose 7-0. So the Tony the Tiger Magnet here, the No Mercy magnet here, and not the only game with that combination tonight either. So Tampa Bay goes to 34-25-6 with the win. Philadelphia 33-24-8 with the loss. They're going to have to pick themselves up after this because the schedule does not get easier. Shots on net, 16-9 Tampa in the first, 11-3 Philly in the second, 7-5 Tampa in the third. Final shots, 26-25 Tampa. Power plays, Philadelphia 0-3. Tampa Bay 3-4. So if you reverse those numbers, you have a completely different game. So special teams on both sides hurting Philly tonight. Hits 44-15 for Philadelphia. Ersson saved 11 out of 15. Sandstrom saved 8 out of 11. Vasilevsky saved all 25 shots for the shutout. And Vasilevsky needed that because Vasi has not looked good lately. So this game, an important bounce back for him. We'll see if it's sustainable. All right, next up, Chicago and the Washington Capitals. So it's Mrazek versus Lindgren. Good early back and forth. We get a power play for the Caps. Ovechkin has a rush chance that's saved. Power play ends up being killed off. Hawks are leading in shots 3-2 at 5.5 minutes. Things get pushy and hold by Mrazek. And then at 7:01, Lapierre begins the scoring. He gets this one from Carlson and Protas. And then at 8:45, Scarbosa scores from Van Riemsdyk and Carlson. Capitals then draw a power play, and they score on it. It's Tom Wilson from Strome and Ovechkin at 13:36. It's 3-0. So then the Capitals get a third power play. They score again. That one's taken back for offside. It was almost 4-0 in both of these games in the first period. So that power play ends up being killed off with 2:43 left. The Hawks get a power play, but it's almost as bad as the Flyers power play, so that gets killed off. It's 3-0 for the Caps after one. Second period. Too many Hawks on the ice, so the Caps get a power play. Strome has a shot that's saved and cleared. That power play's killed off. Vlasic to Sanford, near miss there. The shots are 5-1 for the Caps at 8.5 minutes. Caps press with 9.5 minutes left. There's a near miss for Foligno as the Hawks get some pressure. The Hawks press again with 5 minutes left. Seth Jones has a shot that's held. And then Milano on a 2-on-1 rush buries one. Protas with the assist at 17:24, so that makes it 4-0. The Hawks press in the final minute. But yeah, it's 4-0 Washington after 2. We know Washington's winning this one. Third period, Caps press at 1.5 minutes. There's a power play for Chicago. That's killed off. Shots are 5-2 for the Caps at 6.5 minutes. Wilson's denied. The Hawks rush. And then Tyler Johnson with one that deflects in. Tenorti and Sanford with the assists at 9:49. So Johnson with one there. I think that's his 13th of the season. I'm mildly surprised he didn't get moved at the deadline, but hey, Chicago held on to almost everybody. So that makes it 4-1, and it answered the only question we had left going into the third. Would he hold the shutout? Hawks look for another. We get a power play for Chicago. Near miss for Bedard. That power play is killed off. Hawks go back to the power play, which closes out the game. They don't score on it. Your final score is 4-1. Washington 30-23-9. They are still within striking distance of a playoff spot. Chicago 16-43-5 with the loss. So shots on net, 12 apiece in the first, 8 apiece in the second, 12-6 Chicago in the third. They actually outshoot Washington 32-26. Power plays 0-4 for Chicago, 1-4 for Washington. Hits 25-17 Chicago. Mrazek saved 22 out of 26. Lindgren saves 31 out of 32. And now I need to change boards. All right, so St. Louis and the Rangers. There wasn't a lot of tension in these games tonight. I just have to say, today's games, almost all of them were lopsided. So we get to the next one, which is Binnington versus Shesterkin. There's a post for Trocheck as the Rangers press. We get a power play for New York. That's killed off. The Rangers go back to the power play. Yeah, you can't give them back-to-back power plays. And Trocheck makes him pay. It goes in off Parayko's stick. Panarin and Fox with the assists at 5:49. It's 1-0 Rangers. Thomas is denied as the Blues press. Things get pushy on a hold by Binnington. The Rangers press with 6 minutes left. Leddy has a screenshot that saved. Saad had a rush chance that was held. And then at 19:37, on a turnover breakaway, VC scores from Goudreau. So it is 2-0 for the New York Rangers after one. Second period. Early press by St. Louis. Cooley has a rush chance that's held. Kyrou had a shot that was saved. Rebounds cleared. Shots are 4-2 Rangers at 6.5 minutes. Did Rempe score? No. So this is the 2004 Calgary Flames thing. From the front, it looks like the puck's all the way across the line, but when you look from above, it is not. So it's reviewed, and no, it didn't. It was close, but it did not actually fully cross the line. Rangers press at 9 minutes. There's a power play for the Blues at 53 seconds. We get 53 seconds after that, a 4-on-4. There's a near miss for Panarin. Everything's killed off there. The Rangers press in final minute. And both teams failed at stretch passes in that final minute. So both teams were trying that home run pass, but after 2, it's 2-0. Third period, Rangers press 2 minutes in. Cooley has a shot that's kicked aside. We get a power play for the Rangers, and they score on it. Kreider buries one short side. Panarin and Fox with the assists at 6:23. We then get a power play for the Blues, but it becomes 1 minute and 5 seconds of 4-on-4, which means it becomes a Rangers power play, and Kakko buries a rebound from Gustafsson and Wenberg at 11:23, makes it 4-0. With 2:47 left, the Rangers get a power play. There's a crossbar for Roslovic. That power play is killed off. It doesn't matter. Your final score is 4-0. The Rangers go to 41-18-4 with the win. With the loss, St. Louis 32-29-3. And the Tony the Tiger Magnets up there again. Shots 14-11 St. Louis in the first, 12-6 Rangers in the second, 16-6 Rangers in the third. Final shots 39-26 for New York. Power plays St. Louis 0 for 2, the Rangers 3 for 6. The hits 25-14 St. Louis. Binnington 35 saves on 39 shots, and Shesterkin 26 saves on 26 shots for the shutout. It's starting to feel like the teams above the playoff line are really asserting themselves. The teams that are contenders are starting to get it together. It's actually kind of interesting to see. It happened last year too. After the trade deadline, teams that were close just dropped right off. All right, that being said, moving along. Winnipeg and Vancouver. So before this game, of course, yeah, Jets fans will never let Canuck fans not remember that the Jets have done really well against Vancouver over the last, decade? Like, they've done really, really well. They have. And I think the Canucks knew that with tonight's game. So, it's Hellebuyck versus Demko. Besser has a chance that's held. Really fast start to this. Both teams with some good opportunities early. The shots are 4-2 for Vancouver 2 minutes in. And at 2:06, while the Canucks are pressing, Miller buries one in close. Höglander and Hughes with the assists. Jets look to respond. Garland has a rush chance that's held. Pettersson's then denied on a 2-on-1 chance. Mikheyev has a rush chance that's held because he's not allowed to get goals anymore. Appleton's denied from the slot. There's some pushing after that. Hughes to Suter near miss, and then Höglander scores from Suter and Pettersson at 13:47. And this time it's not Garland. It is Höglander. I didn't mess the two up. They're both really hard-working forwards. To me, they're almost interchangeable between Höglander and Garland. But yeah, Höglander throws that at the net. It just fools Hellebuyck. Jets press with 5.5 minutes left, but they're kept to the outside. And then on a rush, it's Di Giuseppe going 5-hole. He scores from Bluger at 17 minutes. It's 3-0. And then Appleton has a rush chance. Kick saved there by Demko. So we go to the second period with the Canucks up 3-0. Early press by Vancouver. Pionk has a shot that's saved as the Jets press. Nemesnikov's denied and close. We get a power play for the Canucks, and they score on it. Pettersson buries one in close. Garland and Hughes with the assists at 4:04. This is shortly before Demko exits. I haven't seen anything yet about Demko. Looking at my phone, I don't have any notifications. So DeSmith goes in. And, of course, there's that concern about, well, is he going to be okay? The fact that he's coming in cold. Well, Pionk was nice enough to test him on a rush right away when he came into the net. So I thought that was a nice way to bring him in. Hughes then has a blasted save. The Jets clear after that. Canucks press with 5.5 minutes left. We get a power play for Vancouver. That's killed off. Canucks press in the final minute. They're up 4-0. We're going to the third. Demko won't return was the news before the third started. Teams exchange turnovers early in this. The Jets press at 3.5 minutes, but they're not getting to the net. The shots on net are 2-1 for Vancouver at 6 minutes. Canucks press are kept to the outside. The Jets get a power play with 9:18 left. That's killed off by the Canucks. Jets press again with 6 minutes left. And then at 15:06, Suter, puck bounces over to him and he buries it right from the side of the net. Makes it 5-0. That would be your final. So you got your Tony the Tiger Magnet. You've got your No Mercy Magnet. There you go. Vancouver 42-17-7 with the win. It's the start of a 9-game homestand for Vancouver. Winnipeg 40-18-5 with the loss. Shots on net 20-9 Vancouver in the first, 9-5 Vancouver in the second, 8 apiece in the third. Final shots 37-22 for the Canucks. Power plays 0 for 1 for Winnipeg, 1 for 2 for Vancouver. The hits 30-24 Vancouver. Hellebuyck saved 27 out of 32. It's like my wife wrote the numbers on the board or something. No, he saved everything. No, 27 saves on 32 shots. Demko saved all 12 shots, and then he was replaced by DeSmith, who saved 10 shots in relief. So good on DeSmith. DeSmith's looked good the last few times he's been in the net, and the Canucks pretty healthy lead atop the division right now. So yeah, not too shabby. All right, Vegas at home against Detroit. Detroit's in free fall. And I feel bad for them because I think they outplayed Vegas for large stretches of this game, but they don't get the win. So it's Reimer versus Hill. The Wings are aggressive early. Back-to-back icings by Vegas as they're just kind of under siege. Wings press at 4 minutes. Vegas presses at 4.5 minutes. There's a near miss for Marchessault and close. The shots are even, 4 apiece, 7 minutes in. And then Dorofeyev goes 5-hole from the high slot. Theodore and Stevenson with the assists at 9:08. We then get a power play for Vegas. That's killed off. Roy thinks he scored. Did not enter the net. Shots are 15-3 for Vegas with 6.5 minutes left. So they stayed dead. So many shots that they took one away from Detroit. Marchessault then buries a net feed from Eichel and Hanifin at 14:36. Makes it 2-0 for the Vegas Golden Knights. But Detroit would answer at 19:32. It's Rasmussen. Good forecheck leads to this goal. Seider and Perron with the assists. So the point shot by Seider is tipped in. So it's 2-1 Vegas after one. Second period, the Wings press at 1.5 minutes. The shots are 2-1 Vegas, 4 minutes in. Power play for Vegas. Marchessault decides to wrestle Compher, and that ends up making it 4-on-4 for 7 seconds. But everything gets killed off out of that. The Wings don't get much out of that power play. Compher then has a slot shot. That saved. The Wings press. Vegas blocks. They're forced to ice it there. The Wings press some more at the half, but the actual shots on net are 7-5 for Vegas with 9 minutes left. There's a near miss for Marchessault. Vegas presses with 2 minutes left. It remains 2-1 Vegas after 2 periods. Third period, early power play for the Wings. Kane to DeBrincat near miss, and then on a point shot, Compher tips one in to tie the game at 2. Seider and Kopp with the assists at 2:44. Vegas looks to respond. They're not getting shots at this point, though. 8.5 minutes in, the shots are 2-0 Detroit, but they'd start. McNabb goes top corner on a point shot. That's one that Reimer would want back. Brisson and Eichel with the assists at 10:07. And I guess Brisson. Sure, Brisson. Even though his dad, Pat, I don't think he's gone by Brisson. At least I've never heard him referred to as that as an agent. It doesn't matter. So the Red Wings answer again within a minute. At 10:44, it's Goss Despair from Compher and Perron. So that makes it a 3-3 tie. Detroit needs points. The Islanders are charging right now. They need points. We get a power play for Detroit. That's killed off. Raymond and Petrie are then denied back-to-back before Marchessault scores from Eichel and Barbashev at 17:16 while they're pressing. And Rasmussen was hurt on a shot block. Looked like he hurt his hand or his wrist. So he was ineffective, and they took advantage. Detroit then pulls the goalie because they're down by 1, which leads to Marchessault hitting the empty net for the hat-trick goal. Barbashev and Hanifin with the assists at 18:53. Vegas wins this one 5-3. They go to 34, 23, and 7, and they needed that because they are the number 2 wild card. At least they were. Now I think the number 1 wild card. Detroit 33, 25, and 6 with the losses. No, they'd actually still be the number 2 wild card because Nashville's the one they're trying to catch. Anyways, shots on net in this one: 19-7 Vegas in the first, 12-6 Vegas in the second, and then 13-5 Detroit in the third. Final shots: 36-26 for the Golden Knights. Power plays: Detroit 1 for 3, Vegas 0 for 2. The hits: 30-25 Detroit. Reimer saves 31 out of 35. Hill saved 23 out of 26. So yeah, not too bad. All right, last game of the night: Dallas and LA. So the only question I had left at that point was, all right, so Vancouver got the win. Boston got a win today. Am I going to go 3 for 3? Because Dallas was ahead, but Dallas has had their shaky spots during this road trip. So it's Wedgwood versus Talbot, and I know Dallas has the 4-game winning streak. It's now 5. They did not move up on this week's power rankings, so just leave all the hate here. But Fiala scores on the first shot of the game from Doughty at 26 seconds. Not a fantastic start, but Dallas responds to it well. So Delandry has a net feed that's picked off. The Kings press at 3 minutes, but 4.5 minutes in, the shots are 6-2 for the Stars. Stars press at 8 minutes. We get a power play for the Kings. Spence has a blast that's held. That power play's killed off. Kings go back to the power play. That's killed off as well. Things get pushy on a hold by Talbot with 1:23 left. The Stars get a power play. That then becomes 1 minute and 17 seconds of 4-on-4. So a Kings power play rolls over into the second period with LA ahead 1-0. And the Stars finish the kill. And then the Kings press after it's done. The shots are 3-2 for the Kings, 4.5 minutes in. Kaliev has a net drive that's held. He hasn't scored in a while. Duchesne can't bury one as the Stars press. We get a power play for Dallas. That's killed off. And then after it's done, Dallas scores. At 10:34, it's Foxa posting in from the slot, the assist to Craig Smith. And then at 10:52, so 18 seconds later, Robertson buries a rebound from Pavelski. So taking advantage of the Kings maybe being a bit down after that first goal, and they get the second one to get the 2-1 lead. Stars press for another. There's another power play for them. That's killed off. 2:51 left. They get their fourth power play of the game. That's killed off as well. So we're going to the third period with it 2-1 for Dallas. Early press by the Kings, and they're really controlling things pretty well early on in the period. The Stars then get a press at 3 minutes, and then they draw power play number 5. And during the fifth power play, they score on this one. It's Johnston from Duchesne and Marchment at 6:47. He buries a rebound there. Power play for the Kings, that's killed off. The Kings press with 8 minutes left, but the shots are only 6 apiece with 5.5 minutes left. Dallas doing a good job of just keeping the life out of this a little bit because they're up by 3. Goalie pull happens with 4 minutes and 15 seconds left because you got to tie it or get a goal or something. And the empty netter is Pavelski from Robertson at 16:20. So your final score on this one's 4-1. Dallas goes to 40, 17, and 9 on the season. LA 32, 20, and 11 with the loss. Shots on net 14-6 Dallas in the first, 13-12 Dallas in the second, 9-8 LA in the third. Final shots 35-27 for Dallas. Power plays, the Stars 1 for 5, the Kings 0 for 4. The hits 18-12 LA. Wedgwood saves 26 out of 27, and Talbot saves 31 out of 34. So there you go. You're all caught up on tonight's and today's action. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Let me know your thoughts on tonight's games, and if you were looking for reviews of the earlier games, already on the channel. That's all I've had time for today. I watched hockey for over 12 hours. All right, that being said, thank you guys so much for all your support, and I will talk to you again soon.